Well, hi everyone, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Monza. Here we are at this phenomenal 5.793 kilometer circuit for round 2 of the Ferrari Challenge. About to get race 1 for Coppa Shell underway. Good crowd here to enjoy not only the race action to come from Coppa Shell, but also the phenomenal temperature that we have here as well. It's a beautiful day. Here's our calendar then. We've been to Valencia, we're here in Monza, we're off to Budapest, Le Castellet, Silverstone, Imola, and the glittering World Finals to come in Mugello in October. You can see the heat haze rising off the tarmac there, and confirmation of where we are then. It's brilliant. You stand on the circuit and bathed in warmth within sight of the Alps as well here in Monza. Just around about 30 minutes if the traffic is in your favour from central Milan. And there the grid is assembling for this first Coppa Shell race. 5.793 kilometres then, as I mentioned, some 8 turns around this circuit, and the pinch point of course is turn number 1, the Variante del Rettifio, which is the first chicane that the drivers come across from the start line, and is often a pinch point, and a lot of drivers sometimes not making it quite through that chicane as they would like. 27 degrees then the air temperature, and the track temperature higher than that. And there we see Herney, who is going from P2 on the grid. So Christoph Herney driving for the Zenith Cyan team, took P5 in Valencia, and it was a DNF in race 2. But Johnny Lawson then is going from pole position, P1. Johnny Lawson had a good time of it in Valencia, taking P1 and P2. He's taken 2 wins overall in his career in the Ferrari Challenge, and he's looking in a very, very good position today because, of course, he will be at the head of the field, and whatever may happen through that first chicane that I mentioned to you, hopefully he's going to be away from that. Eric Prinot, who was perhaps not the driver that we expected in Valencia, many, many years' experience in the Ferrari Challenge. To be fair to him, he wasn't feeling terribly well over the Valencia weekend. There is his driver coach, Babalus Ponte then, that looks after Eric Prinot. Instructions being given, and we'll find out just a bit more about what driver coaches bring to the party as we look now at Claudio Schiavone. Claudio then, who made his debut in the Ferrari Challenge last year in the 458 car. We are in Monza, Italy then, for Ferrari Challenge and the Coppa Shell race. Generally speaking, it's always the opening round of the Ferrari Challenge here at Monza. The reason it wasn't this year, and the reason we went off to Valencia for the opening round, was just the sheer number of 488 cars that had to be built. And that meant that the opening weekend that ordinarily we would have put on the calendar for Monza, it was just never possible to get enough cars produced to meet that, and that's why our opening round was in Valencia this year. Henry Hassid then, rookie in Ferrari Challenge, as the graphics explain, and Henry there, full of focus, looking forward to this, what will be his first race in the 458 Challenge, and going from P3 on the grid. A very, very good qualifying from him as some water is taken on board, and a beautiful shot there. You can see Tommy Lindred's car to the right-hand side of that picture. Mentioned that we will be talking about driver coaches, and Corsa Pilota is something that Ferrari runs that offers drivers the opportunity for a first taste of race action with a Corsa Pilota course. First taste of a racing circuit and a racing car. Everything is talked through, everything is analysed, everything is looked at. chances and opportunities on the website at races.ferrari.com. Verano circuit there. From Corsa Pilota. Everything is looked at, including how to overtake and then put it into practice if you choose to become a racing driver. So from Corsa Pilota, could become race winner. There was a U on there which suggested that maybe I could go and do that. Alongside me, I'm delighted to welcome Trofeo Pirelli driver Chris Frogger. What do you reckon? Could I have a go in that Corsa Pilota? What do you think?
Yeah, I've done one myself. It's pretty. They're pretty great, really.
Yeah. Now, driver coach is something we were talking about. Von Skeltermar there with Nicky Cadot, former GT racer and hugely successful driver in the Ferrari Challenge as well. Just chatting to his driver then. Chris, you have a driver coach. You're new into the Ferrari Challenge this year. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
How important is it to have that guiding alongside you?
I think it's essential. I mean, from coming from basically no experience, I need my coach to it can be just from teaching you the lines, that helps you with the car, helps you just keep focused and not get aggravated with a bad session. It's just, I think that discipline that they learn from years of experience can be passed down to you and help you become a better driver.
And you mentioned you made your debut in the Ferrari Challenge this year as we look at Fabien Volvend, who's also making a Ferrari Challenge debut, just 19 years of age, also has come up from karting and single-seaters, also racing in an Audi TT Cup program as well, but it's with Octane 126, it's her first experience in a Ferrari Challenge car, and that's going to be a big, big step up for her, but she's qualified really, really well. She's going from P9 on the grid. Yeah, you're a complete rookie into racing, and with respect, you've astounded us because you've achieved. I mean, we were talking during qualifying how well you had done in Valencia, and we'll get onto that in just a moment. But you've really hit the ground running, as it were, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. So Coppa Shell Race 1 about to get underway. So yes, come on Chris Frogger, what is the secret? What breakfast cereal do you have that has enabled you to come into this series and achieve 2 podiums that you did in round 1? Come on, what a star you are.
Thank you. I just think it's a lot of focus. I think a bit of an advantage knowing that this is a new car and everyone has to learn.
It's nice to be here in Monza, especially when you do the pole. It's really fantastic. Great circuit. I love it. Circuit is heart of Italy, and I really enjoyed it with my 488 because it's born for this track. So I like the long straights. So thank you so much.
So there we were just hearing from Johnny Lawson, who's put that car in pole position. Now, of course, Johnny Lawson was very successful in Valencia, taking a P1 and a P2. And Chris, you race in the Trofeo Pirelli, not in the Coppa Shell. But even so, across this whole Ferrari valley of challenge racers, there are young guys like you, young whippersnappers, you and Fabien Volvend that we've seen as the safety car, the Hublot safety car, goes off to lead the cars away on their rolling lap. And then there are very much gentleman drivers that race in the Coppa Shell as well. And do you know what? The times between you guys, actually, it's not enormous, is it?
No. I mean, Laursen's qualifying time was pretty amazing. And I think the grid is so close on the Coppa Shell. The times of qualifying was really impressive.
Right, we'll be hearing more from Chris Frogger during the course of the race. Delighted that he's joined us up here in Comms for race number 1 for Coppa Shell. We are on the formation lap now. This a very, very different circuit to Valencia, which was the opening round of the Ferrari Challenge. We're back to Monza. This 5.793 kilometre circuit, which contains 8 very challenging turns. The first of those that you're seeing the cars come through now is the Variante del Rettifio first chicane. All the social media available to you at the top of the screen right now as we see the cars make their way now through turn number 2, the Curva Grande, which is very, very quick, heading up towards the second chicane, which is the Variante della Roggia, which is actually turn 3. There is our pole sitting driver, Johnny Lawson, then P1, P2 in Valencia, and we'll be hoping for good things here in Monza as well. Has done everything that he should be doing during qualifying as we go into the Inico MP Racing Garage there. Tension is beginning to build for the start of race 1. 2 races for Coppa across the course of the weekend, 2 races for Trofeo Pirelli as well. There is Tanny Hanna, and the 101 car is the car being driven by Fabien Volven then, who, as I mentioned, has come up from karting and then some single-seater racing. He's also racing in the Audi Sport TT Cup, and now gets an invitation via Octane 126, the Zurich-based team, to come and have a go in the Ferrari Challenge. Chatting to her just a little while ago, she's absolutely loving it and has performed really well, qualifying P9. On board with Eric Chung then, one of the long-standing participants in the Ferrari Challenge, as Beppe Scanetti then, who is our Hublot safety car driver, backs the cars all up. They will form themselves into grid order, and as always with the Ferrari Challenge, it is a rolling start into that first chicane. Holger Harmsen there, who drives in the Trofeo Pirelli category, but drives last year's car, the 458. The engineers on team radio straight away advising the drivers what to do. It's at this point that hopefully they've got some temperature into those tyres and critically also into those brakes as well, because that first pinch point, turn number 1, comes up pretty quickly once you've passed the timing line. So heading towards the Parabolica now. The cars on their rolling lap. Prenot going to be one to watch from P4 on the grid. So Hassid as well. Great debut for him. And here we go. Race number 1. It was an absolute Horlicks at the start for Johnny Lawson as we've got 4 cars abreast heading towards that first chicane. Let's hold our breath. Is everyone going to get through okay? No, is the answer to that. Oh my goodness. So through the first chicane we go. Let's try and pick up the pieces here of who's out and who isn't. Just seeing various cars making their way back onto the track, and one of those, Claudio Schiavone, then was involved in that. The 102 car is Christoph Herney that got the start, and Eric Prenot into P2. There's Von Skeltermeyer is running down there in P6, but there is our race leader, Christoph Herney, and alongside me, Chris Frogger. Then I was saying and trying to allude to the fact that is always going to be a pinch point. Turn 1 it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's always difficult to get 20, 25 cars down.
Right. I'm sure you're right. What on earth happened to Johnny Lawson with his start? I mean, it just looked like he didn't have the pace going to the timing line.
Yeah. Do you know what? I experienced the same thing in race 2 at Valencia.
Right.
I dropped 4 positions into turn 1. I think I was asleep.
Eric Prenot is now leading. You've just seen him overtake Christoph Herney then. So Eric Prenot then, the master of Monza, has come through to take P1. Now, of course, he was advantaged by some of the skirmishes that went on right at the very start of the race, but Eric Prenot is now leading. Eric Chung is in P3. Von Skeltermeyer there, you can see the shark's teeth on that car as Johnny Lawson is trying to fight back now. Realises that he got the start horribly, horribly wrong. Whether it was him or whether there was just some car issue, but Johnny Lawson is going to try and fight back. But as they cross the timing line, it's Eric Prinot, Christophe Herney, Eric Chung, then it's Henry Hassid, von Skeltermar, Johnny Lawson then back up to P6, but you can see he's some way down. Oh, whoa! As a car the back end of the car just got completely loose there. And that is a huge impact into the barriers. Now, I just saw, Chris, the back end of the car. It just seemed to get loose, and I don't think it had run out onto the grass. Well, inevitably the safety car will be called. So the rest of the cars are making their way around the track. I cannot think that with the debris that's all over the circuit that there will not be a safety car. We're on board with Eric Chung now. Waved yellows, of course. We will see that again in replay, I'm sure, but it was an extraordinary... So there, the waved yellows. Eric Prinot then the head of the field. Christophe Herney, then it's Eric Chung, Henry Hassid, and then von Skeltermar up to P5. Safety car. Kel Surprise always expected that. So there is the safety car ready to pick up the drivers. Clock keeps ticking, of course, and there was just so much debris because there was, Chris, there was like 3 impacts, wasn't there? Barriers either side of the track, and at that point, let's have well, this is a replay of the start. And that's where Johnny Lawson, he just seems to be faltering, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's bouncing off the limits or something.
Okay.
He just didn't shift up a gear. I think that's likely. He looks like he lost a lot there.
Trying to avoid this there of car that shortcut the chicane. Different angle. Of course, you've got all this to come in your first race that's coming up in later this afternoon in Trofeo Pirelli. Right. That is the crash, and it's Thomas Gosner. Thomas Gosner, or there's Eric Prinot's partner looking on. Now, I'd like to see that in replay again because I don't know whether you picked up, Chris. Would it have been a deflating tyre? Would it have been? Did he get onto the grass?
It's really hard to tell. It didn't look like he went onto the grass.
No, I didn't think so.
I didn't see that. This car has just so much more power than the 458 torque delivery. It's a really hot track to me. Well, I think it's very good.
We hope Thomas Gosner is absolutely fine because it was only one impact. There was a couple of impacts on either side of the circuit. We're on board the Hublot safety car now as it continues to take the cars around. And what amazed me, I think, was the second impact. There was bits of panel work and even wheels coming off that car, wasn't there? So there's a lot of debris that's going to have to be cleared up. But as we say, most primary importance is hoping that Thomas Gosner is all okay. So, some scratching of heads and concerned faces in the garages, of course. And Thomas Gosner is just one of a whole fleet of family that race in the Ferrari Challenge. Manuel Gosner, who's not here this weekend, racing in another series. David Gosner, of course, races in the Trofeo Pirelli. On board with Rick Lovett, then looking back at the rest of the order. He's up to P10. He had a disappointing qualifying, and talking to Rick, Chris, he had an off during free practice at Ascari.
Yeah.
And he said, his words, and he won't mind me saying this, that actually, Dave, that scared me. you know, and I can't go through at Ascari the same again because it's kind of got a mental block now.
Yeah, no, I can completely relate to that. It's
I mean, Ascari's a very good chicane, isn't it?
Yeah. And when you have a moment, I had a couple in testing earlier this week, and it does knock you back.
Okay. Well, there is the 112 car, the Canadian racer, being followed by the 178 car of Peter Gurk. Tommy Lindroth we had seen earlier, and their Ferrari fan with camera. So lights still on the safety car, and this is not, in my opinion, going to be the work of the moment, the recovery of the Thomas Gosner car. So the order then, after just a couple of laps, it's Prenot, Herney, Chung, Hasid, Skeltermar, Lawson, Fabienne Volvend, P7, Vladimir Haladik is P8, Murat Kuhada-Ruglu is P9, with Rick Lovett then in P10. There's von Skeltermar's partner looking on. See that he's up to P5. And then down on the Kessel Racing pit wall, team run by Ronnie Kessel. And the team that von Skeltermar drives for and with. Of course, Chris, you're here with the... oh, and there, thank goodness for that, there is Thomas Gosner walking away, seemingly completely unharmed. I think it's unlikely that we're going to see that car out for race 2 in Covershell, Chris. I think that's fair, isn't it? But thankfully he's all okay. I was going to go on to say, your car, of course, is engineered by FF Corsa, the British team.
Yes.
Great bunch of guys, aren't they?
Yeah, team really fantastic.
Now this is the challenge show. That's you. So there, just a glimpse of some of the things going on here this weekend. Last night there was a lovely cocktail reception at the Pirelli Museum. I don't know whether you joined us there.
Unfortunately, I didn't. I was knackered after the session.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. So there, unfortunately, the spectators at the moment not seeing any race action. They're seeing the cars being led around by the safety car following that Thomas Gosner collision with the wall. Collision both sides of the track, heading towards the chicane. And thankfully, we've seen him out of the car and he's perfectly okay, which is, of course, always our primary concern. But we still haven't quite picked the bones out of why that happened. And at that point, Chris, you're in the car, it's going straight. You're not applying any steering lock whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure in my infantile mind why that car would suddenly...
Yeah, unless he was slightly tapped by someone.
Yeah, possibly.
If not, a tyre issue.
Okay, well, we will get to the bottom of it, of course, but for the moment, all we do know is that Thomas appears absolutely fine, and that's really, really good to see. Safety car continues to lead them around then. First, just a race duration of just under 19 minutes now, and most of the race time has been behind this safety car. So Fabienne Volvend then, who has made her debut into the Ferrari Challenge this year, single-seater driver, up from single-seaters into one-make car for Audi, and is now in the Ferrari Challenge by invitation from Octane 126, the Swiss-based team, who, of course, run Fabio Lima in the Trofeo Pirelli Pro category. We're on board with Rick Lovett, who's in P10 at the moment, the SL Racing driver. The little green indicator to the left of the graphic indicates that he's a gentleman driver, so certain drivers over a certain age are eligible for that additional gentleman category, and the pink that you can see on the graphics on the left-hand side are for the Ladies' Cup, which is a separate classification as well. So you can see who's moved where. Johnny Lawson was the biggest loser really at the start, wasn't he? And has come back now, so he's only 5 places down on where he was. And I don't know quite what happened with Johnny Lawson, but as you say, whether it was, and you made the point with regards to traction control, that might have been something.
Traction control was off, and perhaps a little bit on the grass. Few issues that happened on the grass, and traction control was off.
Well, we remain behind the safety car, and this is not the way we would have hoped the race to unfold. Eric Prenot, of course, he took advantage, didn't he, of the... And that's Chris, that's got to be years and years of experience. He could see what was going to happen, and he just dialed out of it, didn't he? And he's almost rubbing his hands with invisible soap, wasn't he, right at the start of the race, thinking, oh, I'm going to benefit from this. And, you know, it wasn't long before he got past Christoph Herney and he finds himself in the lead now. And there is Eric's partner to the very left hand of your picture there, Monica. And Eric back to feeling 100%, which he certainly didn't feel in Valencia, and I think the performance matched his not feeling very well. It must be a real big ask, Chris. If you're not feeling very well, to strap yourself into a racing car and try and perform, mate, that's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, I can imagine. I think in that environment, the car was so hot.
That's of course why you worked in the Pirelli contact there, but you needed to prepare yourself in the right possible way for the race today. Exactly. Fair play to you. Safety cars coming in this lap, and we'll go back to race action. We'll get 15 minutes of racing to come then. And Von Skeltermar, he's going to be one to watch. So too is Johnny Lawson, who's right behind the Von Skeltermar car. This car is the easiest one to spot because it's the one with the shark's teeth at the front. Intimidating. Yes. Just give him that time, shouldn't we? Begin to build up speed, and at this point, when you've had a long safety car period, it's critical, isn't it, to try and get some temperature back into the, because the tyres and the brakes will have cooled, won't they?
And inevitably you've lost flow as well as a driver. You really have to work back into it as quickly as you can.
Around Parabolica they go then, and the safety car will peel off into the pit lane. It's down to Eric Prenot now to control the pace here. Christoph Herney is back at him a little bit here. Von Skeltermar going for a move on that's it for P4 as they head into that, and he's done it. Even before they've got to the chicane, a big lock-up from Eric Prenot there. Von Skeltermar, is he going to be able to hold on to P4 as Johnny Lawson also tries to fight his way back, and a slight mistake there from the Henry Hasid car means that Johnny Lawson does go through. So Johnny Lawson following Von Skeltermar and moving up a place as they make it through that turn without too much of a problem. There is the 108 car of Deborah Mayer, one of the lady racers. So Prenot Herney, then it's Chung, Skeltermar Lawson. There is Johnny Lawson in the 160 car. Whoa! Back end of the car stepped out there. He had to use Sponset lock to try and control that as he completely shortcutted the chicane. Was that just an entrance problem, just carrying too much speed?
Yeah, easy to enter there too hot.
Okay. There is the Johnny Lawson car then, bearing in mind that he took two great results from Valencia, and he'll be hoping to try and make up for the seemingly botched start right at the start of this race. And there you can see Johnny Lawson then is on the inside of the 147 car driven by Henry Hasid, and Hasid there just left too much of a gap, didn't he? And it was inevitable. You know, you're not going to need that invitation posted to you, are you? Through he went. Prenot, Herney, Chung. Then it's Skeltermar Lawson, and Fabian Volven is up to P6 in car 101. Good news. Well done, Fabian. Eric Prenot, though, and here comes Von Skeltermar now on Eric Chung. Oh! I think there was just a little glancing contact between the two. You can see the Skeltermar mirror has been turned around. Was that a bold and ambitious move by Fons to try and overtake there? Okay. So up once again then off the parabolica, down the start-finish straight. They head towards the chicane. Another lock-up from Eric Prinot. You can see the smoke just in front of the Christoph Herney car. It's von Skelterman once again on Eric Chung. Then this is the big battle going on for the final podium place at the moment for P3. We've only got 13 minutes of this race left because of the elongated safety car period for the stricken Thomas Gosler car, which collided with both barriers just ahead of that Variante del Rettifio chicane. Thankfully, Thomas Gosler out of the car and it's all perfectly okay. The car, however, is going to need several new parts before that will be making another racing appearance. On board with Eric Chung now, who is currently P3, some 2.6 seconds down on the leader. Thing is, Chris, when you're chasing someone down, as you do very often and did a fine job in Valencia, it's the car in front of you. He's the one under pressure. He's the one that's being hunted, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll be feeling a lot of pressure from it. And might force him into a mistake.
And that's always the hope, isn't it? That you just try and generate a mistake. So Skelterman right alongside Chung now, but has to dial out of it because Eric has the better line into that chicane. Very, very fast through here. See the cars and look at Lawson. He's right on the back of Skelterman now. So von Skelterman, not only is he hunting, but he's being hunted as well. There was a moved across the track there to try and prevent that line for Johnny Lawson. Johnny Lawson's going to have the inside now for the parabolica, which is not optimum, is it? Because the car kind of drifts out wide. Yeah. So there is von Skelterman in the all-white car. Then it is Johnny Lawson. And look how Eric Chung is just able to get up the road now that von Skelterman has stopped attacking and has had to change his...
He's under pressure.
Absolutely, he's had to go from attack to defence.
Yeah.
And Johnny Lawson is really going for it now. Fastest lap has come from Eric Prinot. That was on lap 7 of the race. 1:53.019. The car looks very, very skittish, but Skelterman did a very, very good job controlling that. But Lawson will maintain this pressure now and hope that he can provoke von Skelterman into making an error of some description and just give him the opportunity to get past and perhaps wrestle away that P4 from von Skelterman. There is the 177 car, and then right behind is the Johnny Lawson car, which is pushing von Skelterman as they head up now towards Lesmo 1, then Lesmo 2, of course. This is the Johnny Lawson car then. Eric Chung breathing that sigh of relief. He's been able to put some 0.6 of a margin on von Skelterman now because he hasn't had to worry too much about defending because Fons has had to adapt and adopt that himself to try and prevent Johnny Lawson from coming through. But Johnny Lawson's going to come under some pressure, I think, from Fabienne Volvend, who is running in P6. This is our race leader, though, Eric Prinot, who's doing a good job with a margin of 1.2 seconds over Christoph Herney, who has almost an identical margin over Eric Chung, who is running in P3. So through the heat haze come P1, and there is Christoph Herney in P2. First lap that the incident that occurred during the first lap going through that chicane is under investigation. Von Skelterman now has turned the wick up once again. Now, do you really feel, Chris, when you did this in Valencia, where you're behind the car and you're running in that turbulent air almost?
Yeah.
You know, does it have an effect on the handling of the car? Do you have to dial out of it just for a little while to let the car?
Yeah. You do have to exactly dial out of it a bit, because otherwise it really does.
Eric Chung then, once again, is going to feel potentially the sharpness of the shark's teeth that are behind as von Skelterman tries to turn the wick back up and go chasing Eric Chung. Ever mindful of the fact that he does have right behind him Johnny Lawson, who also seems to be turning it up again now because he's right on the gearbox, jolly near of von Skelterman once again through that chicane. Fabienne Volvend is driving really quite cleverly here, because I'm just thinking that she's thinking to herself, right, let them do the fighting ahead, and if I can take advantage of that, so be it. I don't want to get involved in that battle at the moment.
She can keep her pace up,
yes,
also keep the car ready for anything happens, I think.
She's certainly making making a very, very good debut in the Ferrari Challenge this weekend. 8.5 minutes of race action still to come. Eric Prenot leads. 1.5 seconds is the margin that he has over Christoph Herney, who's running in P2. Both, well, the top 4 places are gentlemen drivers before we get to Johnny Lawson there. Taking not only curb, grass, but a bit of runoff area as well.
Yeah, that was pushing.
And in fairness, what we enjoy most about watching you is the fact that you take 100 and a bit, don't you? Do you know what I mean? You go for everything.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a winner and a P2, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same.
Right. So Johnny is really throwing everything at it around the parabolica then. There is the start finish straight. The grandstand on the right-hand side. Pit buildings on the right-hand side. Eric Prenot extends his lead by another couple of tenths. It's up to 1.9 now, so it's another 4 tenths in all honesty. And there, the margin between the... Look at that, between Skeltermar and Lawson. 3/1000ths the difference between them in terms of lap time. Extraordinary, 3/1000ths. Fastest lap came on lap 9 from Eric Chung, incidentally, who's currently P3 at 1:52.2. There is Eric Prenot then. Now it's interesting when you go into, you don't necessarily see it here so much as in some other parts of this Monza circuit. When you brake the car, you actually see the front of the car as compressing down on the suspension. Does that mean that, you know, in terms of the braking power that's being used, does that unsettle you then to regain that when on the exit of the turn?
I think you have to be quite careful on the actual...
Sorry. Oh, just managed to get that out of harm's way, didn't leave it. Sorry, back to your explanation.
No, I think really the dive of the nose, you have to be really careful on the entry of the corner. When you release the brakes and the nose raises again, and you lose the front end of the car, so it sort of becomes a bit washy when you're turning in.
Right. There's Lawson again, taking an unorthodox line through there as he tries to... what he's trying to do is maintain the momentum he has, and he is right on von Skeltermar now. He knows diving to the inside is going to be not the quickest way around the parabolica. They are close, aren't they? And von Skeltermar doing a good job in defending here, and it's now that Johnny Lawson really needs to gun it and go for it. Von Skeltermar takes the middle of the circuit. Johnny Lawson is right on him. Is there going to be a move going into the chicane? I think you're right. Fabian Volven is now beginning to get involved in this and thinking, I'm going to have a go here as well. So Lawson to the what will become the outside of the turn-in. Von Skeltermar's car gets all skittish. He's shortcutted the chicane. Now there are barriers there to prevent him, and this will mean that he probably loses 2 places. No, von Skeltermar has got back out. He's lost that place to Johnny Lawson, but he didn't lose out to Fabian Volven. But Fabian has got the momentum now, going into the next chicane. We're not going to see that. Ooh, there was contact there. And I think from Ingvar Madsen, that was just an overtake hope too much, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now this isn't it exactly what we were saying about mounting and keeping the pressure on?
Yeah.
Because that's an error, isn't it?
And that's a forced error right there.
And there is Mrs. Chung, who is watching on. Her husband running in P3. Wave for the camera. That's delightful. So I wonder whether Fabian did manage to get past von Skeltermar. No. Is the answer to that. There is our race leader, Eric Prenot. What have we got? Just under 5 minutes of the race left. Just thinking that Christoph Herney is becoming just a little bit under pressure now from Eric Chung. Von Skeltermar with a mistake through the chicane then. Lost out on 1 place, which inevitably, even if he'd gone straight through the chicane, in that situation he'd have had to give the place, wouldn't he?
Yeah. They would have put a sign up and he would have given the place back.
In the end, he did lose out. This is the battle that I was talking about. You can see graphics now between Christoph Herney and Eric Chung. Last time around, 6 tenths between them. So it is this time it's across the timing line. It's increased a little bit, so Christoph Herney not yielding to the pressure from Eric Chung. Now that wasn't the first time that we saw the front end of Fonz's car getting very, very unsettled going into that chicane. That time it was critical and it cost him a place.
Yeah. I think it's completely
talk often, Chris, about tyres, tyre degradation. Clearly, at the end of the race, the tyres are going to be not offering as much grip as at the beginning. Although, actually, in this race, presumably with that long safety car period, the tyres will have a little bit more life left.
Yeah.
Same applies, does it, to brakes as well? Because the brakes have been worked so blooming hard during the course of the race.
The temperature is constant. So they really, really have to manage the brakes and predict how the braking is.
Well, Prenot leads from Christoph Herney, then it's Eric Chung. And Eric Prenot then of Monza Master, as I said right at the beginning of the programme. Yes, and potentially one more lap, I would think. And Johnny Lawson is going to be going after Eric Chung now. And Johnny Lawson, this must be, when you know the race winner's out of the question because you're just too far back, the next best thing is going from P4 to being on the podium. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That will be his target now. And have a couple of laps within which to be able to do it. Eric Chung taking a completely different line there through the parabolic to that of Johnny Lawson. Which is the right line, Chris?
It's difficult when he's under pressure from Johnny. He really has to make sure he can't overtake. And then Eric's got a good run out of parabolic there. And I think it's most important to be able to defend this first one.
Well, there is the Johnny Lawson car. And hopefully we'll get a replay of that because that Gome car looks to be really, really slow. So Prenot, Herney, Chung, Lawson, Peter Gurk there, Claudio Schiavone in the 102. He was caught up right in that battle at the start, going through the first chicane where he was turned around and ended up facing in the wrong direction.
It's a real shame his race was.
It's been completely compromised, and he's now down there in P12, look, and chasing that Peter Gurk car ahead. The rest of the ladies is Fabian Volvend, who is P6. Gentleman driver is our race leader, Eric Prenot. This then is Ingvar Madsen. And just ahead of them, the Ingvar Madsen car. Out onto the gravel, but back on. And that was just a huge mistake from Tina Cock, but she didn't know he was there.
Yeah. So it's exactly like that.
Tina, one of the lady racers, made her debut in the Ferrari Challenge at Valencia. So we're on to the final lap now, and von Skeltermar and Fabienne Volvend here, side by side, lady versus gentleman, very much so. And that was textbook overtake, wasn't it, from Fabienne?
Yeah, that was
So well done to her. What a debut she's made. Finds herself in P5 now, and Johnny Lawson is really going after Eric Chung. That is going to be the fight to watch over the final few corners here. Prenot, I think, is going to be untroubled, but Johnny Lawson and Eric Chung, that could be a different story, couldn't it, over the final few corners?
He's going to be giving it.
You bet. So the Christoph Herney car is P2, the all-black machine, Eric Prenot with the Dayglow yellow is P1. But the real battle is between Eric Chung and Johnny Lawson for that final podium place. And Johnny Lawson, who had a terrible start, done all the hard work in qualifying and put the car P1. Chung goes through. There goes Johnny Lawson. Heavy braking now. Prenot turns in. It's a very fast chicane, Chris.
Yeah. Very easy to make a mistake.
And there we've seen Johnny Lawson really takes every bit of that curve plus some, doesn't he? But now he's only really got the parabolica where he can try and dislodge Eric Chung. And Eric, to be fair to him, we saw last time around, made that 488 as wide as possible, really stuck his metaphoric elbows out and held on to the place. Will he do the same?
Really tough.
Eric Prinot is going to take win number 1 for season 2017, and it comes here at Monza. For him, he takes first place. Christoph Ernie is P2. Eric Chung holds on for P3. Johnny Lawson is P4. Fabienne Volven, brilliant debut from her to take P5. Von Skeltermar P6. It should be Vladimir Haladik that will take P7. And Rick Lovett should be taking P8. Indeed, Rick Lovett does take P8. So great drive from Fabienne Volven. She's the best of the ladies. Eric Prinot is the best of the gentlemen and is the race winner, as well as the final cars cross the timing line and get the checkered flag. And a race that was punctuated by an elongated safety car period, regrettably, as Peter Gurk there in the 178 car ends up P12. And battling is continuing all the way to the checkered flag and all the way down the field as Towser and Falhol across the line as well. Cars we lost: Henry Hasid, who looked good at one stage, Tanny Hanna, of course Thomas Gosler, and we also lost Christian Kinch in the race as well. Eric Prinot then, for Nico MP Racing, is our race winner. And let's just take a look at this. Von Skeltermar, Fabienne Volven. Now, where Fabienne, in my opinion, not being a racing driver, got that right was the exit.
Yeah, her exit was great. It allowed her to get right next to the inside and just take that position.
Absolutely brilliant overtake from Fabienne Volven. And thanks to our team for giving us that replay. That was a really good move. And she is the best of the lady racers. Saw a bit of this over the course of the race. That was the number 100 car of Tina Koch, who then, I believe, wasn't even aware of the Ingvar Madsen car there.
It doesn't look like it.
So Eric Prinot, our race winner then. So Chris, being up here in comms, has this offered you a different viewpoint? And will you take anything from this? I'm seeing if I've got another career as a driver coach. Whether you'll take anything from this into your race.
Really interesting to see this first race, to see the first turn, see where the car was weaker after the time. It was really good insight, I think.
So the Vladimir Haladik red and black car there, number 144, just behind Von Skeltermar's car. There is Eric Prinot. See, you can really see there the little aero flicks in the front splitter of those cars. I mean, these cars do have, and there's Monica there to congratulate them. These cars, aero, are very good, aren't they?
Yeah, a huge step up from the 458. It's a really great car.
Christoph Ernie for team Zenith Sion Lausanne then. It's not the work of a moment getting out of those cars, is it? You're 7 foot. You're 7 foot tall. How do you do it? So there is the 169 car that we saw of Karl Opperthauser that was slowing at a point during the race. Here comes Eric Prinot then, out of the car. Congratulated by everyone. Takes the win and will be on the top step of the podium. The rest of the cars making their way back into the paddock area. And Fabienne Volven being congratulated by the Octane 126 team. And to the left of the picture is Christian Birchinger, the boss of Octane 126, who's made it happen. And there is Eric Chung, who did hold on to P3. Under some pressure, to be fair. At times it was Von Skeltermar, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really defended well.
So Fabienne being head up to the podium area. So race winner Eric Prinot then bumps into one of our engineers, heads up to the podium right now. Here's confirmation of the classification then. Prinot P1, Herney was P2, Eric Chung P3, then it was Lawson, Fabienne Volvend, Von Skeltermar, Vladimir Hladek, Rick Lovett, Murat Kuhardaruglu, and Tommy Lindroth. Good finish for Tommy Lindroth. He kind of delivered that from us not having noticing. Takes P10. So best of the gentlemen, Eric Prinot. Best of the ladies, Fabienne Volvend, and Johnny Lawson wasn't quite able to make it to the podium. Then it was Schiavone, Girk, Deborah Mayer, Dusan Pulkrup, Ingvar Madsen, Tina Koch. Then it was Liam, Oppenhauser, Valholt, and Hassid. And of course we lost Christian Kinch and also Thomas Gosner in that crash earlier on. All the information, of course, races.ferrari.com. That is the portal for you to check out the Ferrari Challenge, find out everything that you need to know. So race action done and dusted for Coppa Shell. Trofeo Pirelli race to come, and whilst we say that, we'll say thank you very much to you. You can head off now and get ready for your we really appreciate you being with us. Best of luck for your race. A lot. So alongside us then, we delighted to have on board with us Chris Froggatt, who will be racing himself shortly. To the podium we go next then, and we'll be seeing Eric Prinot, Christoph Herney, Eric Chung, and of course Fabienne Volvend, who will be up on the podium as the best of the ladies as well. Podium is it's an enormous structure here at Monza, which goes over the circuit, and it's a fabulous piece of work. It is literally about 2 meters from where I'm standing, and the podium being prepped, as you can see, and the drivers will be up there shortly. There is Mrs. Chung ready to shout and cheer for Eric, who will be on the third step of the podium. There the drivers all getting ready to head up there. And our podium is about to get underway then. Here's Eric Chung then. And Eric Prinot then, who generally sprints to the podium and jumps once he's on the top step. There he goes. Well done. Don't let us down, Eric, do you? And Fabienne Volvend then will take a podium as well, because the best of the lady racers actually finished P5. National anthem time. So the anthem is played out. Here comes trophy presentations right now. And Enrico Galliera, the Ferrari SVP for commercial and marketing, making the trophy presentation. First of all to Eric Chung, then to Christoph Herney. And our race winner, of course, Eric Prinot. Stand by, one more podium to be done for the teams, and then, of course, Fabienne Volvend will receive her ladies' cup trophy as well. Oh, I was forgetting, Eric gets an additional trophy for being best gentleman as well. And there's Fabienne, who receives her trophy, then debut in the Ferrari Challenge, and takes a win in the ladies' race and finishes the race a very, very creditable P5. So everyone will steam into the podium now for the photographs. Eric Prenot there. And he there will, oh, it's going to be on the receiving end of the champagne from Eric Chung. Next race then, Trofeo Pirelli race 1 at 13:35 GMT. Make sure you join us for the Trofeo Pirelli race where you'll see Chris in action. Chris joined us in comms for our Coppa Shell race and will actually be behind the wheel of one of these phenomenal Ferrari 488 cars in the race to come this afternoon. So we take some super slow-mo looks then at those successful in race 1. The best of the ladies was car number 101, Fabienne Volven. P3 in the race was Eric Chung for Formula Racing. Taking P2, it's the car of 162, Christoph Herney. But in race 1, the Monza Master. In car number 181, it was P1 for Eric Prenot for Ineco MP Racing, taking not only the race win, but the best gentleman racer as well. So some great super slow-mo shots then, and great shot of buildings here at the Monza circuit. In the Drivers' Championship, Johnny Lawson then still leads on 49 points. Rick Lovett is still P2. Keep your eyes on Eric Chung, though. He's making his way up, 38 points. P3 today has helped his points haul. Eric Prenot is P4. Still a lot to do and a lot of racing to come in the Ferrari Challenge. We have another race for the Coppa Shell drivers tomorrow. Then it's off to Budapest, Le Castellet, Silverstone, Imola, and then Mugello right at the end of the year. So the Drivers' Championship standings, as you can see. So the Coppa Shell drivers will be back out on track tomorrow, where temperatures are supposed to be very similar as today. So, standing by to take a look at the highlights of race 1. Stand by, here they come. Johnny Lawson had a terrible start. Eric Prenot had a brilliant start. There were cars going virtually everywhere as they made their way through the first chicane. And Eric Prenot set about Christoph Herney. There we saw that Christian Kinch was just involved in that Thomas Skosner incident. Some bystanders, Thomas Skosner was sweating across the track. That meant there was a long safety car period. When he did get back to racing, John Lawson was making his presence felt to head towards a potential podium place after an awful start. Prenot was leading from the front, didn't look troubled at all. Fabienne Volven then making their debut into the Ferrari Challenge in car number 101. Skeltermar with an error played into the hands of Johnny Lawson. Fabienne Volven wasn't able to take advantage of that at the time. Prenot going to be untroubled though, and Fabienne Volven would eventually get past von Skeltermar. But at the end of the race, it was Prenot Herney. Eric Chung taking the 1, Prenot 3. So then, engineers preparing for the Trofeo Pirelli race, which is next on the agenda for the Ferrari Challenge. The Coppa Shell race done and dusted with Prenot, Herney and Chung, P1, 2 and 3. Best of the ladies, Fabienne Volven then on her debut in the Ferrari Challenge. Takes the Ladies' Cup win and also takes P5 in the race overall. Fantastic debut for her in the Ferrari Challenge. And of course, Monza generally is the opening round. This year, though, it was Valencia, and it's round 2 of the Ferrari Challenge here in Monza. Join us for Trofeo Pirelli next.